Hey guys, so I'm back with another video, and it is to discuss the Nars cheek palette, Blame It on Nars. This cheek palette can be found at the Nordstrom store. I think it's only Nordstrom.com. It comes in this pretty packaging. You take it out. The price value for this palette is $59. If I can get mine out. And it looks like this, and it's very, very pretty. It looks similar to the Virtual Domination one that they had out for Christmas 2014. When you open it, it comes with this huge mirror, and then on this side it comes with a small Ida brush. Ida, and then a bronzer, which is in Casino, a highlighter, and 2 blushes. First, I'm going to do a slight comparison between this one and the Virtual Domination. So, they're about the same in length, sort of. This one's a little slightly longer. Same plastic glass filling outside. This one is slightly thicker than the Virtual Domination one, and I think that's partly due to the brush being in it. So in the Virtual Domination one, you have the huge Casino 3 blushes and a highlighter. In the Blame It on Nars, you have, and this comparison is mainly for those who got the Virtual Domination one and might not want to get this one, but this one has 1 bronzer and 1 highlighter and 2 blushes. So that's what they look like. The bronzer in this one is Laguna, and the bronzer in this one is Casino. The highlighters are different. This highlighter has more of a silver reflex glitter, and it's more champagne-y. Whereas this one is still kind of champagne-y, but it's a little bit darker, and it has gold reflex. The blushes in here, like these 2, are more like peachy and coral. Whereas the blushes in here are more pink. Pink and kind of mauve-y pinkish. There is more product, I think, in the Virtual Domination one than it is in this. I think simply because they put the brush in this. But again, the bronzer is Casino. In Casino, there is 0.15 ounces. Whereas this one had Laguna, which was 0.35 ounces. The blushes in here plus the highlight, they're all the same weight, and they're all 0.14 ounces. The blushes in this one, the Virtual Domination one, and the highlight are 0.15. So they're kind of close. It's just the bronzers that there's a big difference, and that's mainly because of the Ida brush that's in it, which is I really wanted to try this, and I didn't want to get the original version of it, the bigger version, but it's soft. I did notice some shedding because I've seen people talk about that, but not a big deal. But I mean, it's okay. I still wouldn't, for me personally, I still wouldn't pay the normal price to get the regular one. So coming in the palette is doable. I got this now, so you know, I don't have to get the big one because I have this one. This is very travel friendly, I would say the least. The colors in here are pigmented. The highlight is nice, but it's for those who are okay with a little bit of chunky glitter. It's not finely milled. It's glitter, or it could be a topper. The Casino is perfect. It's really, you know, it's not abrasive. It's not dark. It's not, for my skin color, going to be like, you know, super dark. It's really subtle for me, but you definitely can see it on my skin, whereas the Laguna it is not a bronzer for my skin complexion. It's more of an illuminator because it has like gold reflexes in it. But again, even with that, it's a subtle illuminator. But I when I saw this online, I definitely was drawn in by the pretty packaging. I was drawn in by the brushes. I was drawn in by the fact that it had Casino instead of Laguna. But the two blushes online, you really couldn't see like the difference between the two palettes, the Virtual Domination and the Blame It on Mars. So I was kind of skeptical, like, man, I don't want to get this palette, which pretty much is the same price. I think this was $60 too, and have the same color blushes. And so I was nervous when I got it, but when I did get it, it's pink blushes, thank you, because this is more peach and coral, which, you know, now I'm not doubling up on no bronzer, I'm not doubling up on no highlighter nor blushes. I hate to do that, but I really like this because I like blush palettes, and I probably will get the one that's going to come up in this, you know, the winter, if it doesn't have Laguna. If it has Laguna in it, then I'm not gonna get it. But let's get into the swatches. But before we get into the swatches, I would say the blushes they're pigmented. They show up on my skin complexion, but they're not super pigmented where you have to be careful with application. It's buildable, so you can build it up to the intensity that you want it. Same thing for the bronzer, and same thing the highlighter. I would just be careful on it because it's got like chunky glitter in it. But for the most part, I like it. The lasting power is all day to me, I feel like, and I have oily skin, so I have to try to stick to blushes that are going to last on my skin all day. But I really like this palette. Honestly, I think it's a good buy if you know, if Casino fits your skin complexion. It fits mine. It's subtle. It ain't boom bam in your face, but you definitely can see it on my skin more than you can see at Laguna. But let's get into the swatches, and that is it. Alright guys, this is a view of the palette up close. So I'm going to do some finger swatches, and I'll tell you the name of the colors. So we know that this is Casino, and we know that this is the highlighter, which is called Satellites of Love. This blush is called Daydream, and this blush is called New Attitude. So they're definitely all new blushes slash highlighter in the collection, no repeat colors. Casino looks like that. The highlighter, Satellites of Love, looks like that. So those two. Daydream and New Attitude. Okay, so these are the colors up close. This is the bronzer, which it has like a bronze kind of color to it, whereas Laguna had like a little bit of gold. This has like more of a bronzy color. This is the highlight, which is a little ashy on my hand, but it's okay on the face. Satellite of Love. This is the blush, Daydream, and it has a little bit of shimmer in it, but it wears off as you blend it into your skin. And this is the other blush, which is New Attitude, which is matte. So these are the colors in the palette on my skin. And then also with the bronzer, it's not matte, it does have a sheen to it. Alright you guys, so that was my, you know, swatches of the palette. I really love it. I'm glad that it's, you know, mainly pinks in this palette and a bronzer that works with my complexion. So I'm not doubling up on anything, but I will recommend this palette to anybody who is okay with the bronzer being Casino. You get to try out their infamous, you know, bronzer brush, and you get a cute palette, and you get blushes that are pigmented, and that's about it. So it's at Nordstrom, nordstrom.com. It's for $59. Go ahead and get yours. I recommend this one. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.
Hey.